Yo, what's good, everybody? RJ Sheldon here, episode 70 of Off the Top Show. If you've been tuning in with us, you already know what we do on here. We talk about sports and sports within sports, current events, all that good stuff. But let's go ahead and start right now. Obviously, talking about the NFL Week 2. We stay in the NFC North. That's the biggest conference or division, however you want to say it, that we go ahead and go over. But we also go over other teams as well. The Seattle Seahawks that came into Detroit faced the Lions. The Lions lost that one by 6. Lions lost that in overtime, actually, but the score was 31-37. Jared Goff threw for 323 yards, 28 of 35 from the field, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. David Montgomery had 11 carries for 67 yards and 1 touchdown. St. Brown had 6 receptions for 102. Those are kind of obviously the 3 guys that were leading in each category that game. And then for the Seahawks, Geno Smith had 328 yards, was 32 of 41 from the field and 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker had 2 touchdowns, 17 carries, 43 yards. And DJ Metcalf had 6 receptions for 75 yards. I really wasn't watching this. I was like tuning back and forth. Was a good game. Obviously, just Lions came up short. I'm seeing obviously went into overtime. I think they might have probably lost the lead if they went into overtime because they were up as I'm looking in the box score here, huh?
There's a freeze halftime.
Okay. But yeah, no, like literally, it was funny because you were talking about, like don't be surprised the Seahawks go to the Super Bowl. You want to talk about getting a tough road win. That's a great win for the Seattle Seahawks coming to Detroit Lions, win that one. To go ahead and make them 1-1 because they lost, week 1.
Which is a terrible loss at home.
Yeah, for the Lions, I mean, you can't lose at home.
No, I'm talking about for the Seahawks.
Oh, for the
in
Seahawks,
week 1.
who do they face again?
They lost to the Rams in week 1 at home. Yeah. That was a terrible loss at home.
Right, so you know that they were coming in, obviously, trying to get a clean slate and obviously putting themselves in a position to be 1-1. They did that. Geno Smith, I know we've talked about him a lot. Granted, we're obviously going to get to the Lions, but Geno Smith playing well. I mean, I'm seeing these numbers. If he's playing this good, I mean, they're going to be a tough team to beat. Obviously, the Seahawks defense is always solid. If they got that running game going as well, you see Kenneth Walker getting active, 2 touchdowns. DJ Metcalf obviously getting established as well. I'm seeing late down the stretch in the fourth quarter, we're seeing that Tyler Lockett had a 3-yard touchdown pass to get them 24-21. And then I'm seeing Did they intercept the ball as well? Brown with a 40-yard interception return?
Trey Brown picked off I think Gibbs had like an option route at the backfield and Goff threw it behind him. It was easy pick 6.
Man, and then obviously they looking like the Lions tried to come back, obviously. Reynolds obviously 4-yard touchdown pass from Goff. Then that went ahead and got that into the OT. So that obviously, responding, coming back and obviously getting a touchdown to go ahead and give yourself a chance to win the ball game. And then we're just looking at the first overtime, looking like the Seahawks won that back of the end zone. Geno Smith, Tyler Lockett to basically close the game. When you look at it, man, for the Lions, that's a tough loss at home.
Yeah.
They got to go ahead and obviously regroup on that one. But, I know it's week 2, but you got to go ahead and those home games, you can't lose at home. You got to always be winning games at home, 100%. No if and buts about it. But they got next week. But all in all, Seahawks are a quality team. Lions are just going to have to do better. What is your take on this game, or if you saw anything about this, or what stuck out to you?
I mean, they gave up 37 points. I know obviously they scored on defense, but they gave up 37 points. That's not good. You don't want to give up 37 points on your first home game when you bring in the guys with the ski masks on the defense wearing the ski masks, and y'all give up 37 points. Or you give up 29 or however many you gave up besides the pick 6. The second half, they scored 24 points. Well, no, I'm tripping. It was overtime. They scored 30 points in the second half. They only had 7 points at halftime. So you go from 7 points, a 7-point half, all the way to a 30-point half in the second half. Like, That's not where you want to be at if calling yourself one of these quality championship teams, which I think the Lions will be in a conversation as far as the playoffs. I don't know how far they can go. My heart be wanting to say, this or that, but I want to see them. They have to finish those games. Like this, these are the games you feel you can't give the ball back. You can't throw a pick six. You can't throw it behind the guy when he's running an angle route and you throw it right to the defender and he catches it and go pick six. You can't do that. I mean, but Jared Goff, he threw that in the second half as well. Jared Goff, 28 for 35. I think he was about to break the record today. I mean, yesterday. If he wouldn't throw an interception for the game, I think he's about to break the record with like 20-some games in a row without throwing an interception. And he throws a pick six yesterday, which was on him. It wasn't a tip pass. It wasn't pass rush. He had to get the ball out quick. It was a error throw. Like you threw it way behind the guy. If you just threw it inside, threw it at him, he'd have caught it and kept going for another probably 15, 20 yards. You never know. But, I mean, they got the weapons. Montgomery went down in injury yesterday. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was carted off the field. So that's something that you want to pay attention to. I mean, because he's their bell cow back there. He's a running back there that you want to hand the ball off to and can ground and pound. I mean, 16 carries for 67 yards, and his longest run was 16 yards. That means he was at least 3, 4, maybe 5 yards a carry, which that's where you want to be at. So,
Right.
And then Ahmad Brown, I think he got hurt yesterday too. I think I heard that. I might be mistaken, but you don't want him to be off the field because I didn't see him in the second half like that. So I think he was injured. But 6 receptions for 102 yards, that's where you want to be at. You feel me? You want to be that guy. But let's talk about this defense real quick, man. They had no sacks. They had 1 sack, but it was a sack at the end of the game where Geno Smith was kind of running around trying to run the clock out a little bit and run it down as much as he can besides throwing it out of bounds. He wanted the clock to keep running. So he kind of ran around in the back, and then they ended up getting a sack. But besides that, they didn't have a sack. Aiden Hutchinson didn't have no sacks. He didn't have really like no pressures like he had last week. And if you just letting the quarterback just sit back there and, play darts and throw where he needed to throw and pick up the matchup and do anything just comfortable, you don't want no quarterback to do that. You want to throw different blitzes at him, throw different coverages at him. And the Lions got to get better on defense because I think they have a dynamic offense. You feel me? They have some
Right.
guys on offense. They have a dynamic offensive line. They got a nice game manager at quarterback. They got a nice top 15 receiver, a running game that's decent, a tight end is going to come along and probably be one of the premier tight ends for the next few years. But they defense, you got to get turnovers. They had no turnovers. They forced no turnovers, no fumbles, no interceptions, no nothing. So it's like, what type of team are y'all trying to be? The Seahawks, they look good. Like I told you, they one of them teams. They had the answer. You lose against the Rams in week 1 at home. You don't want to do that. Then you travel 4 hours all the way to Detroit, coming to Detroit, 1:00 game. So your body really on a 10:00 because you 3 hours behind. So you
Right.
come in on a 1:00 game when your body really at 10:00 in the morning, and you get a win, and you still a win. Because I assumed that the Lions was gonna win the first game at home. They rolling. They just beat the Chiefs away. You feel me? Like shit like that. Like you can't beat the Chiefs for opening night at the Chiefs Kingdom and then come at home and then lose to the Seahawks team, which the Seahawks is good, but
Right.
you trying to establish in your dominance too. So I like what Geno Smith did. Tyler Lockett, red zone target. If you seen his first touchdown when they ran a little cross routes in the red zone, Geno Smith threw a dime, like
Mm-hmm.
dime right over it. There like mesh routes in between the 5-yard line. It was nasty. A dime. Even the last touchdown he scored though, that was a dime. It's
Right.
like he putting it on the money, man. TD Lockett is that glue guy. He's that glue guy for that offense. They have some weapons. They have some guys. They just have to rack up wins and continue to learn how to win. I would like what the Seahawks doing for the future. So we gonna see, man. That was a good game though. Bad loss for the Lions though.
Yeah, no, that's not good. Like you said, just to reiterate that, you can't go ahead and beat the Chiefs at their place and then come home and then lose. That's just backwards. It doesn't make
Mm-mm.
sense.
No,
But
bro.
yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more to say on that. That's really kind of in a nutshell what it was. So Then obviously staying in the NFC North, the Packers faced the Atlanta Falcons. Packers lost that one 24-25.
Mm, mm, mm.
Jordan Love was 14 to 25 from the field, 151 yards, 3 touchdowns. A.J. Dillon had 15 carries for 55 yards. Wicks had 2 receptions for 40 yards and 1 touchdown. Jalen Reed had a touchdown as well. Had 2 of them had 4 receptions for 37 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dobbs had 2 for 30. Musgrave had 2 for 25. This was a first off, in the beginning when I was talking to my boy James, this was going to be a dogfight game. I think going into it, right? Atlanta Falcons play at home. They're playing really good at home, and they clearly see why, having that home field advantage and being able to go ahead and run the ball for over, damn near 150 yards on one guy. Literally looking at everything right now, they had over 211 yards rushing. The Atlanta Falcons did. If a team is rushing for that many yards, you're not winning that ball game. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You have over 200 yards rushing the football. That is insane. In talking about that defense, right, I was very disappointed that we gave up that many yards rushing. We left a lot of picks that needed to be caught. I watched the game front to back. Dropped in zone. I think it was like a 3rd and 10, and it was on our positive side where Walker could have went ahead and picked that off. Granted, it was a crazy play, right? But at the same time, you need to make those. And then Alexander had an opportunity to go ahead and have a couple picks to start off the game. Probably a pick six, to be honest with you.
I seen that one.
And completely dropped it. I'm like, bro, and we talk about here all the time, if you don't make those type of plays, it's either going to be 3, a touchdown, or it's just going to go ahead and give momentum to the other team
Because
in some type of way.
they expected 23 to make that play. Like he's
Oh my God, yes.
They expected him to, because is he not the best player on that defense? Damn near on that team.
Yes.
They expected him to make that play. It should be easy like that. But go ahead.
But yeah, no, it was tough to watch. And then obviously I wanted to see Jordan Love do what needed to be done in the fourth quarter. It was a good experience for him, even though he, choked. But at the same time, he got that experience. But I mean, he missed Dobbs on a crosser. He read a play because Bates got his eyes looking in the wrong direction and got thirsty on one to go ahead and jump a ball. And Dobbs literally ran clear across his face on the opposite side for Love to throw over on the opposite end like a crosser. I don't know what all these NFL teams do with these crossers, but they be wide open, like deep crossers have 3, you know what I'm saying, to where guys got to make decisions. Yeah. But it was so tough, and he didn't make it. But it was one of those games where it's like he was going to be put in this position to where he would have to go ahead and carry this team to go ahead and get 3 points. There were so many things I can go talk about during this game, but I think one that really, to me, that I thought Jordan Love was going to do, it was like a 3rd and 15. Granted, we just needed to go ahead and get past midfield or close to it to get a chance of a field goal. I thought he was actually going to tuck and run on like a 3rd and 10 to at least, because there was no one in the middle of the field. It was like towards the end of the game. I thought he was going to run, but all in all, this was a bad game by the Packers. Shout out to Atlanta Falcons, holding it down through adversity. I mean, I thought we were going to go ahead and win. I mean, we were up the whole time. I mean, we were literally, doing what needs to be done. We couldn't finish in the fourth quarter. They finished in the fourth quarter. They got stops. They ran the ball. We couldn't stop the run. And they were making, timely plays when throwing the football. So shout out to them. Terrible loss by the Packers. We definitely need to regroup. Definitely need to get that home win when next week. But disappointed as a Packer fan and disappointed on that outcome. Did you watch any of that or see any highlights, or what was your takeaway from that?
No, I watched the highlights of it. And I was keeping tabs on like the score because it was obviously they was winning. The Falcons, like you said, they ran the ball, bro. Like it's hard to. They controlled the tempo, the game. They can if you can run the ball for 200 yards. You got Bijan Robinson, 19 for 124. Your backup running back that was pretty good last year. I think he had 1,000 yards last year. Tyler Allegria. I might be getting it wrong, but you know what I'm talking about. You know who you is. You know your name. 16 16 carries for 48 yards. And it ain't even so much about the yards. It's about he has 16 carries. So he's making those defensive guys tackle. He's keeping you honest. Like they had what? Over 40 runs. They had over 4. They had more runs than passes. And that's an Arthur Smith offense right there. For
Right.
real. Like if you know him, he was with the Titans, I think, before this. So he was with Derrick Henry. That was his offense, running the ball and play action passing and things like that. They look good. They had some guys making a couple plays on the outside. Drake London, 6 for 67, 1 touchdown. Caught the touchdown on Jair. Kind of boxed him out. Drake London just big. He like 6'5", 220, 215. So he's a big body. It's gonna be hard to get around him. So if you get in the paint and you can, keep your body square and you just catch the ball, it's gonna be easy. That's what he did. One thing I'm gonna say about the Packers, obviously they lost. They didn't play with Aaron Jones, was one of the most dynamic running backs and playmakers in the NFL. He wasn't out there, so that kind of hurts your team. And I remember saying last week, I wanted to see how he would play, how Jordan Love would play without that. 14 for 25, 151 yards, 3 touchdowns, a couple of the touchdowns like a little shovel pass. I think they need to change that. I don't think there need to be no passing touchdown, bro. I think that shit is like a handoff.
Yeah, that's a rushing touchdown for sure. But
Yeah, bro. I don't think that's a receiving touchdown or a passing touchdown. Um, it was like little plays, block, go out. I think Reed had 2 touchdowns from like those type of plays.
yeah,
But the throw he threw to Wilkes, that was a good throw though.
yep,
That was a good throw for the touchdown. That was a good throw. They defense, man. That interior, you can't get the ball ran on you for 200 yards. You need D tackles. Like they're a good third down receiving, third down and 9, 10, 11 type of defense. But if you can run the ball on them, you can control the game. Obviously, if the Falcons can run the ball on you, there's gonna be other teams that come in there and try to do that same thing.
right,
So they need to become a better run defense before they can do anything. Because if you can't stop the run, it's play action, pat, all that shit is wide open. And if you know in the league, bro, in any league, I don't care if it's Pop Warner, if you can't stop the run, we ain't gonna pass the ball. We gonna run it all day because you can't stop it.
right.
So plays need to be made when they need to be made. Like you said, Jair dropped a pick six. I seen it. He was sitting down on like a little 10-yard
Yeah,
stop route. He jumped it, everything, came straight at it.
man.
He got to make that play. That's just who he is. Like I said, I enjoy watching him play football because that boy be out there. He be doing his thing. But you got to have those, bro. Like you see it, and it's like that. You got to have it. 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 But I'm not gonna say this is a bad loss for him. I'm gonna say this is a learning loss for him. They ain't had one of their guys. I remember the fourth down play. They threw it to 83 or 82. One of them guys over the middle, and it was a nice throw. It was a good throw to throw in traffic across the middle, and I think he was kind of like fading a little bit. It was a good throw. It was just a drop because his coverage was all on him, and the ball kind of hit the ground and rolled over. But it was a good throw. I like how they played. I think this is more of a defensive loss though for the Packers. This is
Yeah,
definitely a defensive loss. So Jordan Love didn't turn the ball over.
right.
He didn't turn it over. So 3 touchdowns, no turnover. Without your best playmaker, I would take that. Now we on to the next week, and we're gonna continue to build on that, continue to learn on that. But great win for the Falcons, man. Falcons 2-0 right now, man. They Bijan looking like an animal out there.
Man,
So
he's looking crazy. But yeah, no, I think that like just to take away from that, and then obviously we'll move on to the next game. We just got D lines got to play way better. I don't care names, Clark, Wyatt, Smith, guys that have been in the league for, those Clark and Smith been in for a minute, and obviously are backing with our linebackers, but we have got to stop the run. I don't care what goes down, we have to stop the run. So,
I just watched Bijan just set 26th on the ground.
oh yeah, no, that run was crazy.
Oh my God.
But Robinson's like lateral is crazy, and he's just every time he touches the ball, bro, it's like he could score. Like that's what it looks like every time.
Give me Marshall Faulk vibes.
Absolutely, but maybe way faster than
Yeah,
Marshall Faulk. Way
yeah,
faster. But yeah, no, we're gonna see, man. I know we're at home. I forget who we play, but at the end of the day, that was a learning, like you said, for Love, and the defense needs to know. Hey, listen, we need to go ahead and stop the run because we cannot be giving up 211 yards in the NFL, or we will not win a football game. So that game, obviously, with that next week, they're at the crib, the Packers. Man, let's talk about these Chicago Bears, man. Jesus, 17-27, the Bucks beat them. Bucks are 2-0. Baker Mayfield is 2-0. When's the last time Baker Mayfield's been 2-0 in the NFL?
I was about to say shit, probably Oklahoma.
Man. But Justin Fields, 16 of 29 from the field, 211 yards, one touchdown, two interceptions. Herbert, 7 carries for 35 yards. DJ Moore for 6 receptions for 104. I've been seeing this on Twitter, and it kind of really makes us. Has the Chicago Bears like really coached, like not saying outcoached, but coached Justin Fields too much? Have they at this point, is he even being coached? Is he even doing what he needs to do to help that team? Um, and I don't even think he's doing that, to be honest. I don't know what's going on with coaching. I don't know. They got everything that they need to do, right? Had a huge offseason, got the line together, got every piece that they needed. They got him a number one wide receiver in DJ Moore, supposedly. They got Mooney. They got a running game. They got all line. And they are 0-2.
I don't know if he really is he really a number one. I just look at number one a little different. Like when I hear number one, bro, I just hear something different, bro. Like just because you was number one on the Panthers was a terrible bunch that you had. I don't think you number one. Number one is hit a little different, bro. I don't know. I don't think it's that many number ones in the NFL, honestly. I think there might be about, just off the top of my head, there might be like 7 or 8 number ones, and I don't think he's in that 7 or 8.
I
But
don't think so either. But no,
go
I mean, just and it's like you can't be like what is it like? There's no excuse now. Like I'm not trying to hear nothing of with him of like okay, he's oh they had him what MVP race. They had him being a top 5 quarterback. They had him doing this, that, and the third. You guys are 0-2, and we've talked about when a team is 0-2, what locker rooms are feeling, what players are feeling. They're like, oh shit, here we go again. Guys
two
that been there,
games too.
guys that been there for a minute, like, oh, but here we go. It's gonna be the same thing all over again. This is a bad loss for the Bears. Like last week, obviously the Packers played very well, stopped the run, do what they needed to do. But this game that you guys played against Tampa Bay, at Tampa Bay, and you lose by 2 scores, your defense gives up 437 yards of total offense. And that's 317 passing, 120 rushing, and your offense can only have 236 yards of total offense. Jesus.
To Baker though,
You lose
and
to Baker
not
Mayfield.
against Baker, but I'm not a Baker fan. 26 for 34, 317 yards in a tug. Bro, did Tom Brady play a better game than that in Tampa? Bro, that's a great game right there.
That's an unreal game. Mike Evans,
That's
6 receptions
a
for
great game.
171 yards in a tug.
You got 2 receivers over 50 yards, one with 171, and your tight end got 6 catches for 41. Run, man, he giving the guys the juice. So it's like,
Literally.
go ahead.
But no, it's just no, I have nothing to say. You can go and keep going, brother. I'm just saying, like, it's like literally the Bears 0-2 and all these pieces that they have. It's gonna be a long season for them. Granted, I
Yeah,
know it's week 2, but you got every piece that you need on that offense and defense, and it's not gelling and it's not working.
I'm just I don't know, bro. I like 6 sacks. 2 picks for a mobile quarterback that can outrun everybody. Like I seen a couple of the plays, this couple of the sacks he had. He was just sitting there, bro. He just sitting there like patting the ball, like trying to. I don't know if he waiting for somebody to get open. Is he? But it's the NFL. Ain't nobody open. You just gotta throw them open. You gotta anticipate them being open. If you waiting for a motherfucker to be open in the NFL and you waiting to throw the ball till he's open, it's probably gonna be a pick because everybody's looking at you.
Right.
So if they looking at you while you staring down somebody to wait to get open, they're gonna float and they're gonna navigate to where you're looking at. So it's like, what is he doing? And you can go back to the whole coaching. Is he being coached right? I don't think so. I mean, he got a defensive coach.
Right.
But anytime you have a defensive coach, they gon' i.e. Robert Saleh. The best thing that happened to Robert Saleh was Aaron Rodgers. Because now you got Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett. They can literally control the whole offense. You don't have to say, hey, bro, we got to run the ball. Hey, we got to make it a pass this play. Hey, we got to do that. You ain't got to say that. And I don't think he was saying that before. But that's what D coordinators do. They just be like, bro, run the ball. You feel me? Pass the
Yeah.
ball. Or on this play, we got to run the ball more. Like, that's who they are. They three yards in the cloud of dust. Let's stop them from scoring on our defense. Let's end every possession with a kick, a punt, a field goal, or a PAT. That's what they are. So I don't know what they doing over there with Justin Fields. I don't know who their offense coordinator is. I don't know what they doing. But I don't like you'll think like, okay, if they putting too much on Justin Fields' plate, or should they let him hang out more? I think they I don't think it's first of all, I don't think it's a lot of great coaches in the NFL. So I think a lot of coaches just allow the players to, develop themselves and to be playmakers themselves. Like I've been in the league, bro. Like it ain't a bunch of development in the league. There's not a
Right.
bunch of development. They expect you to already be at this place. They expect you to get better every year. They just say, okay, we want you to, you know, we want you to be able to run this route a little bit more, and you work on that route. You feel me? But
Right.
they ain't really telling you how to do it, when to do it, why to do it, and that. And I think we just seeing a quarterback that's kind of just out there. They just calling plays and just seeing what he gonna do. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Like I don't see coaching. I don't see growth in his game. I honestly think dude getting worse. I think dude getting worse, bro. Like I want to see him win. Trust me, I want to see Justin Fields win. I do.
Absolutely.
But it's like the league is passing him. And that whole class, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, that whole class. One of them already got traded.
Yep.
One of them, the other one, that got bitched about 4 times by his team, and he on his way to get bitched again. And
Yep.
Zach Wilson and Mac Jones that got bitched a couple times. So it's like, man, what are we doing? What are they doing? Are they good enough? Is it really coaching? Or are you just not that good, bro? I just don't think dude that good, bro. I think he's just regular. He's just a guy. He's like a he's like a number 3 receiver or a number 4 receiver, but he play quarterback.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like I don't want to throw no other names out there and say, well, he's like this 3 receiver on this team. But he ain't a number 1 receiver. He ain't a number 2 receiver, and he
No.
may not be a number 3. But they gotta elevate him because he play quarterback.
Right.
And quarterback lead, they want quarterbacks to keep coming in. But Shador Sanders is better than him right now. Drake May is better than him right now. Caleb Williams is better than him right now.
Hey, you might see where they go ahead and get a quarterback because they might go 0-16 the way they're playing. But I think that just to conclude this, I think the Bears, from an offensive perspective, their coaching is especially from the quarterback, they let him down completely, and you can tell if you saw when he came into the league what he was doing, running for his life, having no O lineman. Now the man has O lineman, and it's still the same thing. So me personally, blame the coaching on that, number one, because how in the hell you have a guy like him, right? Justin Fields coming out, what he did at Ohio State, all the intangibles that he has and what he can do for organization and what he can do for a football team, and this is what you do to the brother man. So there's a lot of things going on, a lot of factors in that. But man, Bears fans, you're gonna be in for another long year. I'm feeling, it might be Packers, Vikings, Lion. We never know. But right now, as a Bears and looking at them, they have literally completely have not even faith. They haven't even put no time into Justin Fields.
Yeah, it's like, bro, this just quick. It's
Yeah,
like they drafted him. Maybe they drafted him because they didn't want somebody else to draft him. But I don't think they utilized what he did, utilized what he do well. Because they got him just sitting there in the pocket like you feel me? Like he's just about to go from 1, 2, 3 to 4. They got him in, they running that type of offense like that's what he is. And maybe that's not what he is, bro. Maybe
right,
you do need to run the ball way more if you're Chicago.
right,
Run the ball with him too. Run the ball with the running backs. Be more of a run offense. Sprint them out. Roll them left. Roll them right. Boots, nakeds. Just keep doing that shit, and then let them look at one side of the field. Stop sitting him in the middle and dropping back and telling him go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Like that's coaching. That's coaching. So yeah.
but yeah, no, that is the NFC North was kind of a tough one for all teams. All teams lost. Vikings lost. Packers lost. Bears lost. Lions lost. But next week we shall see what goes down. And then any other games here, brother man? Obviously, week 2 there were some upsets.
Hell yeah.
Ravens beat the Bengals. Bengals are in a tough position right now, man. 0-2.
Let's tap into that one real
We're
quick.
gonna tap into it. I mean, yeah, we can talk about it. Ravens won that, like I said, 27-24. Um, let's see stat wise here. Lamar Jackson, 24 of 33 from the field, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's very good. And then Edwards, 10 carries for 62 yards, 1 touchdown because Dobbs is, I think, out for the season with ACL, I think, or got hurt with something. I don't know,
Phillies.
which is terrible. Hopefully he gets a speedy recovery. And then Nelson Aguilar had 5 receptions for 63 yards, 1 touchdown. Zay Flowers, 4 receptions for 62 yards, had a nice deep ball that he caught. I think it was a post. That was unreal. That was a great grab. It wasn't even down and made 3 guys basically almost run into themselves, which was insane if you really watched that full play. Mark Andrews, 5 receptions for 45 yards. Odell had 3 receptions for 26. Didn't come out because he had due to an ankle injury or something like that, or ankle soreness.
Yeah.
And then over to the Bengals, Joe Burrow, 27-41 from the field, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Mixon had 13 carries for 59 yards. Higgins had 8 receptions for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tyler Boyd had 6 receptions for 52. Chase only had 5 receptions for 31. This Bengals team is scaring me.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Are the Bengals in trouble?
Yes.
Why you say that?
Number 1 in the division that they're in. Like they already played what? Baltimore Ravens are in the division, aren't they?
Yeah.
So that's already a division loss that you cannot get back. So now,
And
and they lost the Browns too, right?
yep.
So those are 2 teams that are in your division, if I'm not mistaken. And they played you at your place. They ain't play you yet at their place. So now you're gonna have to go ahead, and now it's an uphill battle. You have to win. You have to beat the Bears. You have to win out basically because it's not gonna be easy for you. You still got to go ahead and play the Steelers, right? The Steelers are in that division. Am I getting it right or wrong? Because I'm just thinking off the top of my head.
Yep.
Yeah. So literally, Steelers, Ravens, Browns, and
Bengals.
yes, and you are already in the hole 0-2 in the division. You have to win. They have to win out from here on out if they want to even get into the playoffs. Because this league, number 1 in the division, is extremely tough, and number 2, their schedule of the teams that they're going to play are not going to loaf either. So it is going to be scary for these Bengals.
Hey, bro. And Joe Burrow got hurt again. They say he reactivated his calf, which he should have never came back, bro. He
And
should.
why did he?
He should. First off, I know. As a player, bro, you want to be out there, bro. You don't want to miss no games. You don't want. I know. I'm telling you, I know, bro. You always feel like you can bounce back. But, bro, you got a calf injury where when it happened in practice, nigga, that looked like you tore your Achilles. That's how it happened. Like that's an easy way. You just running and you just start hopping and you look like, hold up, now. That looked like a torn Achilles. Not, but so he already got a calf injury, which he already had a calf injury prior to that because he had a calf sleeve on his calf when that happened. And what happened with Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers OTAs, he had a calf injury, right? He was done for like a couple weeks. When your calves start messing up, bro, now you start pulling away from your Achilles. Now you start pulling away from that. Now it's hard for you. Like think about it. Every play he's dropping back and stepping up and shifting to the left and shifting to the right. And he's shifting away from dudes that's trying to take his head off. Some of the
Right.
strongest guys in football are literally around him. Offensive linemen and defensive linemen. They are the strongest guys, most physical guys in the game are all around him. And probably 4 or 5 of them, maybe sometimes 6 of them trying to come and get him. So now he has to push, pull. Go this way, go that way. We usually see Joe Burrow running. He ain't running no more.
Nope.
He ain't doing that. We see Joe Burrow go out on a 3rd and 10 and get 15 yards. We see him on a 1st and 10 go and get 20 yards. We didn't see him scamper for some runs and get up, point the first down and things like that. That component is gone now because he has his calf injury. And it ain't gone. Like the calf injury is not gone. I think he rushed himself back to get back for week 1. When that happened, I'm like, bro, he probably ain't gonna come back till week 5, week 6. You feel me? That'll give him
Right.
enough time, 4 games, so he can actually practice and strengthen that because it's weak now. You're not practicing. You haven't been practicing. You haven't practiced for that happened early in training camp. So he didn't practice literally all the training camp. And you ready for week 1? No, bruh. Because that shit is weak. Your body is weak. And I know, like I said, I know as us as players, we always feel like, we can come back. We gonna be ready. We can get ready while we out there in the game. But you going up against some guys, bro. You going up against Myles Garrett in week 1. You show you want to be out there playing around.
Man.
You feel me? You show you out there because you ain't gonna get healthy during the season.
Right.
No player gets healthy during the season.
Not at all.
You don't. And that puts a lot on him, bro. I think they're in big trouble. 0-2, and he might miss a couple weeks again. And with him playing, Jamar Chase ain't been doing nothing. He had he had 31 yards, 5 catches this game, 8 targets for 31 yards. And last week it wasn't no better than it is now. Joe Mixon, he only had 13 carries. And nobody else, no other running back even touched the ball. Like, I know you wanted to come back and get paid and do your thing, but you gotta, like, as the program, bro, you gotta protect guys from themselves.
Right.
Especially guys you giving $260 million to. You
Right.
feel? If anything, you're gonna protect them. If you don't protect nobody else, you're gonna protect your quarterback. Because this is a quarterback league. If you already know, if you ain't got no quarterback, you do not have a chance. If you do not have a quarterback in this league, I would say there's probably 8 to 11 quarterbacks that you can potentially win with in this league today. In the league today. Because some of these
Right.
quarterbacks would be good 15 years ago. Like Dak
Right.
Prescott to be cold 15 years ago because they wasn't really throwing the ball like they throwing the ball
Right.
now. So I think they're in trouble. I like what the Ravens. I like what the Ravens look like because they ain't even their healthiest on defense. I like their offense. I like the flow of their offense. I like their running game. Of course, they gonna run the ball. I just want Lamar to get his ass on the ground more, bro.
Yeah.
Like get on the ground, bro. Stop trying to get that extra yard or 2. Get down because you're gonna get that extra yard or two the next time you scramble.
Right.
He cannot be taking unnecessary hits, bro. Like get your ass on the ground way earlier before contact get there, so you can last and make it to the playoffs. Because we know your team, you gonna wheel your team towards that way. So I think the Bengals are in trouble. I think the Ravens are sitting pretty right now in that division.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And then obviously some other more games. Obviously yesterday, Chiefs beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's a good win for the Chiefs after losing to the Lions at home, going on the road against a good Jacksonville Jaguars team, winning 17-9. Then obviously there was a nail biter too. Chargers versus Titans. Chargers lost that one, 27-24. Was that bring the Chargers now 0-2?
They gonna get their coach fired.
Man, we talked about this too. We were going to see what type of team this Chargers team was. Obviously, got all the people on paper, and it's the same old Chargers.
Same old shit, bro. It's the same old shit, bro. The same old stuff with this team, bro. Same old thing.
Unreal. And then 49ers versus the Rams. That was a nice little game. Rams came and played, but obviously 49ers came and won that one 30-23. The Giants were in a nail biter with the Cardinals. Giants won that one 31-28. And then kind of the night game, before I get to it, Commanders versus the Broncos. Commanders went ahead and won that one 35-33. I was watching that live, obviously towards the end. Trying to see here because I'm trying to remember what had happened.
It was 21-3. Broncos is up 21-3 in this game.
Yeah, they were up 21-3.
21-3.
Wow. Wow. But that's a good win for the Commanders. Commanders are 2-0. Defense playing good. Obviously, quarterback being pretty efficient. Sam Howell, 27 of 39 from the field, 299 yards and 2 touchdowns. Definitely a guy that's doing his thing. Let's see here. Lord, brother. Fuck out.
Broncos stink.
Man.
Like, you can't lose that game at home, bro. And I picked Washington to win. I'm glad I did because I was thinking, like, you think the Broncos going to win? I just don't see it. Where we at? Judy. Remember all that talk about Jerry Judy? They kept talking about he's number one receiver. 3 catches for 25 yards.
Right, that's unacceptable.
3 catches. You got Cortland had 5 for 66. Come on, bro. They be throwing that number one receiver shit around too much, bro.
Yeah, no, they do. They definitely do. And it's to a point now, right, where it's like, teams want to pay guys out of those top guys in each position, but it's like, brother, man, what you doing? You got to show me something. But this was going to be a long season for the Denver Broncos. This is another one of those teams. Sean Payton, all that. Players can't wear this, that, and the third. Got Wilson there. What is really Wilson going to be as a quarterback for that team? I don't know. I know it's week 2, but we sit on here multiple times. You know what a team's identity is going to be within the first 2 games in the NFL, if not the first one.
And they look bad.
Oh, yeah. It's not looking good at all. But and then obviously the nightcap on Sunday, Dolphins beat the Patriots, which I think was a crazy ending. I think Buddy did get the first down. I wish they would have gave it to him and would have gave an opportunity for the Patriots to go ahead and possibly score. But all in all, Dolphins won that one 24-17. And then today we obviously have the Saints versus the Panthers. We have 2 games today. And then Browns versus Steelers. What are you looking at both these games? If you want my honest opinion, I'm going to go ahead and take the Saints. I already did that obviously with the picks. I got the Saints winning against the Panthers, and I got the Browns beating the Steelers today. What is your outlook of these games, or what are you expecting from teams, whoever you have picked, to go ahead and do what they need to do to go ahead and be 2-0 or 1-1?
I got the Saints winning. I got the Saints winning. I got the Browns winning. I'm gonna tell you why. I got the Saints. What I'm looking for in the Saints game, I want to see Derek Carr get his chemistry together with Michael Thomas. I want to see Michael Thomas back catching 10 balls a game, 100 yards, and
Hmm.
and just being that guy that he used to be as far as receptions and yards and touchdowns and even if he just being 80% of that, or 85% of that, I'd like to see that. I want to see that offense, the Saints offense versus the Panthers defense,
Hmm.
because I think the Panthers defense is pretty good. They're gonna be missing J.C. Horn though, which is a very talented player, but he be injured. He been injured like his first couple years. He's literally been missing. He literally missed a lot of fucking games. So
Right.
it's like you don't really know what the fuck he is besides the little games he have played already. But I think he's a decent corner. He just got to fucking play. Like we haven't seen him playing. So that's gonna be a hit to their defense. But their D line is gonna be nice. The Panthers D line is pretty good. So I want to see that matchup. I want to see how Derek Carr looks versus that defense and that pass rush. But like I said, I take the Saints in that game. And the Browns, I take the Browns because I don't believe in the Steelers offense. What I seen last week, that shit was. And then you got Deontay Johnson out. Like, you got him out. We got to see from Kenny Pickett. It's another game at home. The Browns gonna come into y'all arena. And what y'all gonna do? Because I know Myles Garrett coming in there to do something. You feel me? Like Denzel Ward coming in there to play. You feel me? Like Thornhill coming in there to play. Zadarius Smith coming in there to play. I think Deshaun Watson got something to prove this year. He still want to show that, he said he's better than he was when he was in Houston. He want to be better than he was. I still want to see him do that. We watched Christian McCaffrey run all over the Steelers defense last week. And you already know who coming into town this week. Nicholas Chubb.
He about to, bro. He might have 150 tonight. I'm not even lying to you.
Bruh, Christian had 150 last week. He might run for 222. Bruh. So it's like, I think the Browns is going to win. I think they're the better team right now. I think they a more together team right now. You feel me? Like, they're a more together team right now. And I think they go in there and get this win. Like, I like Myles Garrett to take over this game.
Yeah.
I like the score to be like 24 to like 14.
Right.
24 Browns.
That's realistic. I think that definitely can happen. I think with the Browns, they're going to go ahead and obviously run the football, do what they need to do, play action. Defense going to go ahead and get stops. I really think that Saints-Panthers game is going to be a blowout, to be honest. I think the Saints are going to go ahead and do what they need to do.
You don't believe in Bryce?
Not right now.
He
Because
threw two
they,
picks last week.
they have he has no time. Like if you if you watch the highlights like of him trying like last week of him trying to go ahead and throw the football, I mean he has literally 1 second to throw the ball because pass rushers are in there. But it's going to be a time thing with him, man. It's that whole Panthers organization. They have a great defense. They have a great D line. They got good guys that play hard. Don't get me wrong. But the offensive line, if you got no offensive line, man, or you got nothing to hold in front for your quarterback to go ahead and have an opportunity to make the right read, I don't know.
We gonna see. We gonna see. They're gonna go through some growing pains for sure. I don't really know who they got on the outside like that. I know they got Adam Thielen, but if Adam Thielen is your number one in 2023, you kind of fucked up.
Love my dog. I love him to death. Don't
No,
get me wrong. That's my dog.
I
But it's
rock.
just like,
I rock with Thielen.
it's just
Like
you
he had a
gotta
great career, bro. He's overachieved like a motherfucker. Like we ain't gonna sit here and say what
right.
he got paid too. He got like 3 for 30, didn't he?
That man got a bay. I think he getting like 11 a year or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. He getting 3 for 30 like with the Panthers right now. So obviously he ain't. You feel me? Like he still has that
Right.
in him, but not as a number one. But hey man, we're gonna see what the Panthers get. I think that I think the Saints should win handily. I think the Saints got a good defense. Marshawn Lattimore gonna be out there making some plays, flying around. You got what's that D lineman name? That he been a damn what's his name, dog? He been a Saints. Is it John Cameron?
Been there forever. Hold on,
Is it Jordan? It ain't Jordan Cameron. It was Cameron Jordan. It's one of them shits. My bad. You know what I'm talking about. He been down with this. He been with the Saints for his whole career.
yeah, hold on.
But he an animal, and he a defensive. He a defensive playmaker on that defense. And the Saints defense always been good, man. They always been competitive bunch. So
Right.
I don't see nothing changing with that. But yeah, it should be two. It should be two Monday night games every Monday. That's what I think. Take away the Thursday game and bring it back to
Yeah,
two.
Cameron Jordan, he's been there forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that concludes the NFL. Obviously, we talked about the games already today. Let's go quickly. Oh, well, not quickly. Let's go ahead and talk about some college football as well. We're just going to get this out the way. Michigan State absolutely got dog walked against Washington Huskies, 41-7. Lot of things that need to kind of change in East Lansing. If you want me to just keep it short and sweet, just not good losing at home the way it did on Saturday. I don't know if you want to go ahead and add on to that, but I'm just going to keep that very plain and simple with that.
Yeah, I had a little bit. First off, it was a great reunion seeing 2013 Spartan Dog Rose Bowl champs, 2014 champs, man. A bunch of the guys was there. A bunch of the guys was in town, so it was good seeing all the fellas, man, and their families. And
Right.
bro, I tell you, bro, everybody really looked the same, dog. Shit crazy though. Like everybody, like nobody looked like they, blew up or blew down or nothing, bro. Everybody looked the same. Like, well, I
Right.
see Skyler, boy. My boy Skyler looked just the same, dog. That's my boy. That's my dog, bro. But it was good seeing all them, man. Besides that, man, shit. That boy Michael Pennis, boy, he coming there. He coming to Spartan State. He coming to East Lansing. He said he coming with vengeance. He coming with vengeance, bro. He came out there and was just throwing the ball all over the field, bro. I think it was 21 zip at the end of the first quarter. I think it was 35 zip at halftime. I got on up out of there after that point. But them wide receivers, Washington wide receivers, number 11, oh, he liked that. Number 1 made some dog ass catches over us, dog. He was snagging that boy. I'm like, oh man, come on. But they was eating, bro. They was eating, man. The quarterback throwing dimes on the money all over the field. He got all the time in the world to throw the ball. So man, Michigan State, man, I know we're going through a lot right now with the season, with everything, man. But shit, man, I gotta keep your head up. Just move on to the next week, man, and try to put this behind us. And shit, just try to get better every week, man. However it needs to happen. Cause we look bad. We look bad on Saturday. We look bad on all sides of the ball. If there was a fourth side of the ball, we probably look bad on that motherfucker too.
Jesus.
We look bad, bro.
Yeah, no, I couldn't even watch it because it was on like Peacock. So I was literally just on my phone or whatever. I'm like, oh my God. 35-0 at halftime?
Peacock trying to make people pay for that shit.
Yeah, I'm not paying for not
Bro, they
nothing,
got the
boy.
game, bro. They got the game Ohio State versus Notre Dame this week. For Saturday night. I don't know if game day or nothing like that, but that's on Peacock. 5 versus 8 seed on Peacock. How y'all come on, bro? They trying to make me pay for that shit. No, we gonna hack it.
I'm not. On my mom, we is. But yeah, no, man, like Lip said, Michigan State, man, just at this point, keep moving. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. Hopefully that game woke a lot of guys up like, oh, Lord, like we are nowhere near close to where we thought we were. And really everybody, from players to coaches to everyone in there. Obviously everything going on, but just got to keep going. This is just to see where the measuring stick was. So hopefully you guys come, Sunday or today. There's probably off today, but that Tuesday when you guys leave, everyone's locked in and being able to go ahead and somehow become 2-2 or at least 1-0 in the Big Ten. So we're still here. We still got faith, obviously, but that was a bad loss. We keep things real on here. That was a good old ass whooping, if you want me to go ahead and not hide the elephant in the room. But a couple other games as well that I didn't want to talk about briefly. Probably the last one more than the second one. Tennessee came into Florida. Took the L. That was a fun game to watch. I don't know if you watched that or not. Probably didn't because you're probably at the game. Obviously, you're at the game. But Florida Gators won 29-16. The energy in there, especially watching that game, their defense was all over the field. I don't know the guys' names off the top, but Florida Gators defense was playing unreal. And they were running the football like no tomorrow. Had 166 yards 183 yards rushing. Talented running backs as well. That was one game that was fun to watch. But I think the biggest one and the team that we're going to be talking about a lot throughout this whole season, obviously Colorado State Rams versus the Colorado Buffaloes. You want to talk about an action-packed game? I literally was up I was watching it from the first snap all to the last snap. Let's just go ahead and commend that this was a great rivalry. This was great for TV. I would be really interested to see, or wouldn't be shocked if this game had over like 10 million viewers tuning in at that time, or if not more. Double overtime. Buffalo won that 43-35. There were players all on this field that were making plays from a wide receiver standpoint, from a quarterback standpoint, from a running back standpoint, wide receivers, DBs. Let's just go ahead and get right into it, right? Mr. Shiloh Sanders, 38 of 43 from the field, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns. The interception that really had happened really wasn't on him because the guy double caught it. If he caught it right away, it would have never went back for number 11 for the Colorado Rams to pick that off. I don't care what anyone says, bro. He's a top 3 quarterback in college football right now.
Yeah.
What I saw with my 2 eyes and how he is so poised and what he needs to do, rolling out in the pocket, running when he needs to. His IQ on the field is crazy. And he definitely is going to be a top 3 guy to go off the board this coming year because I don't see him staying, to be honest. But who knows? Who knows? We'll see. But I'll go ahead and go through all these, though, just real quick. Edwards, obviously 10 carries for 57 yards, was catching the ball in the backfield. Weaver, a wide receiver for the Colorado Buffaloes, 9 for 98, 1 touchdown. Harrison, 7 for 76, 2 touchdowns. That was their tight end. Jimmy Horn Jr., 7 receptions for 66 yards, 1 touchdown. Dawson Jr., 5 receptions for 60. Obviously, we all know the Travis Hunter situation. He got late hit, which was complete bullshit. That man should have been out the game. I mean, the ball was literally on the ground, and he gets hit. I mean, like, the ball literally is bouncing to the fans on these sidelines, and the play's over with, and you hit him. Granted, if I was Sanders, I probably would have stole off of him, but at the end of the day, they're going to know where he is because they're all in the same state. But let me stop talking gangster. Let me stop talking gangster. But all in all, bro, this Colorado team, you didn't seen the first game where they went ahead and went to TCU. Wasn't expected to win, come out with a dub. They go ahead and face Nebraska, dog walk them. And then they get into a game where it's a little adversity. You got a rivalry game. You got a coach that tells his players at Colorado State, listen, we're running through whatever. We're hitting whatever moves. We're making plays, doing what needs to be done. And realistically, the Colorado State Rams had some guys at the wide receiver position. They had 3 guys over 100 yards. 100 yards. 3 guys. So they were moving the ball and doing what needs to be done. But this Colorado team is so sound on offense and defense. Obviously, Shiloh Sanders and Mr. Woods controlling that secondary. Woods was the guy that had that interception to end the game, and he punted it. And obviously, we know that Shiloh had that, obviously, pick 6. This team is complete. I love watching them. They have guys on there that make plays. Shout out to Deion Sanders and obviously his team and what they're doing. They're definitely going to make some noise this year. Granted, they're going to play, Oregon and all those good teams, but they're for real. In those games, against USC, against Oregon, against Utah State. Those are going to be games. So talk to me about this team here. Talk to me kind of, we already know, I know what you know about the team, but to the people, obviously, kind of what special time we're in right now to see what Deion Sanders is doing, not only from when he played, but to now him coaching and what he's got going on there.
First off, I know Boulder, Colorado, outside of Boulder, all of that, they are excited that he's there because college game day, big noon, all these people coming into town, getting hotels, getting food, Ubers, restaurants. I know all of them are flooded, and they can't do nothing but be thankful that Prime is there.
Right.
Um, so I know they're excited about that. One dude really changing that whole economy of that damn. You feel me? Like that's big. That's big time right there. That's something that's overlooked, but it just shows you what one person can do, bro. But I ain't about to get into all that. Um, um, great game, great game. Shador, I heard what you said. You said he probably he top three this year. I don't think he gonna leave this year. I think he gonna go. I think he gonna leave next year and be the undisputed number one pick. I think he's gonna stay there one more year with his pops. I think he can go. I think he can go to the league, but he a quarterback. They're gonna be in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see if he was just like a receiver and he was going crazy like that, I'd be like, bro, you gotta go.
Right.
But quarterback, it's a quarterback. The NFL is a quarterback league, so they gon' you feel me? They gonna save some room for him in there, regardless. I think he's an NFL talent for sure. I think the quarterback class this year is pretty dope. I do. I like it's like literally like 10 guys that I would say it's a minimum of like 7 quarterbacks that's probably gonna go first round. I'm hearing all type of names. You hear the quarterback name from Duke. They keep saying he's a first rounder. I even hear the dude from South Carolina, Rattler, that transferred from Oklahoma. They saying he's a first rounder. So
He's
it's like,
terrible. He's terrible.
but I'm just telling you what the people are saying. This is what they say. They like his talent. He might not be good in college because they don't know what to do with him. But the
True.
NFL may know what to do with him. You know how that shit go.
Right.
Yeah, I think Shador is gonna stay. But this game was dope, man. Wide receivers eating. They even got the tight end in the game. Number 87. He was looking good. He was looking like a target that Shador was eyeing, checking to see what he done, and that's just gonna open up the offense even more. Like now you got guys on the outside. You got number 5. You got number 6. You got number 10. You feel me? You got 12. But he's gonna be out for a few weeks. And like you said, that was a dirty hit. I think that was I definitely think that was a dirty hit. Like if he hit him right after like the ball, like let's say he reached his hand out and the ball had just hit his hand and then I'd have been like, okay, cool. But even Travis took like 2 or 3 steps after that shit. So it's like, bro, you dirty, bro. Like you weak as hell. First off, you
Right.
trash, and that's just who you are. Like you a trash dude because he was the one that got scored on at the end of the game in the fourth quarter when number 5 caught the whole shot and cut back on him. He can't move, so obviously we see he probably couldn't stop himself because he can't move. He ain't fluid. He's not fluid. You know, like Stephen A. say, he's not fluid. His body don't move like that. He
Right.
probably got a linebacker body playing safety, but yeah, that shit was weak as hell. Cause it's like, bro, at the end of the day, it's football. You can get what you need to get off in between the whistles. You feel what I'm saying? This is a dangerous sport. You can get what you need to get off during the whistles.
Right.
He can have the ball in his hand and you can go and knock him out. But
Right.
to do something like that when he ain't paying attention, his body is just open. You feel me? His body's not bracing up to get hit like that because he know the ball was too far. He know I'm about to took 3 steps. Ain't nobody about to touch me. You feel me? Like that's like getting hit by a damn car.
Literally.
Like we talk about car crashes all the time in a game of football, which it is, but just imagine getting hit by a car, you don't even know it's coming.
Man.
So it's like he out for 3 weeks. That shit was dirty. Um, Great game, man. To be on the 2 yard line, on your own 2 yard line, down by 8, not 7, not 3, to get in the field goal range, not 7, just to tie it up. You gotta go. You down by 8 from your own 2. And Shador, calm and collective. Cool, calm and collective, bro. I don't care who he playing against. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at the way he's throwing the ball, with the accuracy he's throwing the ball, the decision making, the anticipation, the manipulating with his eyes of the defense, because he's manipulating the defense with where how he's looking and how he's reading. Like you can tell that he's been under Brady. Like you can tell it because Brady, if you know Brady, Brady is one of the greatest guys of manipulation against defenses.
Right.
Looking here, going here, looking here, going here, looking over here, come back over here, knowing what you're gonna do before it happens. And I see that in Shador. I see that. Made 5, 6 great throws to win the game, then came back to tie 28 points. Like that ain't easy to do. That's not easy to do at no level. At no level is that easy to do. I don't care if you playing in little league football. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit not easy to do. That's great quarterback play right there. And I mean, what you think, bro? His pops is prime time, bro. Like his pops ain't new to being great. You feel me? His
Right.
pops ain't new to making great time plays, big time plays. You know, he ain't new to that. He's not new to that. So you can see it in his kids. His kid, even Shiloh with the pick six. Looked like Dion for the first 20, 30 yards of taking off. He should have high stepped the whole way. You feel me? But like you can tell he's getting more aggressive. He's starting to believe what he see now. Cause that pick, he believed it. Wow, I'm going. Even on the fumble, I see you, bro. All you see, it ain't nothing like watching the game when you watching it from side to side, and you just see a motherfucker flash through the screen.
Bro,
Dog.
I was telling Tooge this. I'm like, bro, he is going to be unreal in the NFL because he is big as hell. Like on TV, like he's playing safety, he's playing nickel. He's going to hit you and he's running through you.
And he's smart,
So smart.
and he aggressive, and he's a. I think he need to become a better tackler. But I think he can tackle. I really think he can tackle. Like he's the last line of defense, and I be
He
seeing
be
him.
just trying to kill shit. He was just trying to kill shit every time.
But I'm talking about just if once you, I know you're gonna kill some shit, but
Right.
be able to get the guy on the ground like all the time. Like don't let nobody cut back on you. Don't be missing. Don't do that at all.
Right.
Once he's able to do that, we know you're gonna miss some tackles. It's the NFL, bro. People are offensive guys been making motherfuckers miss their whole life. That's why they in the league. But he's a missile. I seen him shoot and make a force a fumble. I also seen him shoot one time. I think it was the quarterback was rolling out or rolling. And he was running, and the dude slid, but all you see is Shador right over him. Like, boy, if you would have stayed up, boy, it was going down. So I'm
Right.
excited to see what I see from Colorado, man. It's gonna be messed up seeing, knowing that Travis Hunter gonna miss these 2 big games, potentially 3 big games. But get healthy, dog. You're a great player. We all know. Probably gonna come back a week sooner. Who knows? He might be back versus USC. You just never know with 19, 18, 20-year-olds, bro. They bounce back like goddamn. They the newest rubber band in the bunch. You feel me? They gonna bounce
Yeah.
right back. And it's when you say, oh, he's out for 4 weeks, he might be back in 1 week. We didn't seen it before. You feel me?
Right.
What's his name? Najigba, the wide receiver for the Seahawks. He
Yeah.
had messed up his wrist or something like that. They said he was gonna be out for 4 weeks. He was practicing the next week and didn't miss no games.
Right.
And he's still out there. So I'm excited to see what I see from Colorado, man. It's gonna be a big game this week going out there in Oregon. But I like Shador, bro. If their defense can make some stops, their defense can, do some things. It's gonna be hard doing it without 12 out there for sure, but
Facts.
it's gonna
But
be a test.
they shown they're good without him. I mean, they got guys that made plays and kind of filled that gap for him. Obviously, Travis Hunter is once in a lifetime generation player, but they got it handled. Coach Prime gonna go ahead and get it squared away. But man, Monday, episode 70. Appreciate you guys tuning in. You guys have a great Monday. Start your week out good. Continue to strive to be the best you can be. Lip, take them out, brother.
Hey man, drink some water, man. That's all I got, man. Drink some water, hydrate yourselves, man. Take care of yourselves. Hey, get ready for some football, baby.
Yes, Lord. Man, we'll see you on Wednesday, man. Peace out.
You're